According to the Bible, I would be from the tribe of Gad, the original natives that were in this land. I can trace my heritage way back. And in Zephaniah 1 and 8, it says that it's going to be a judgment for us wearing other nations' clothes. Do you know that the Bible talks about slave ships? It talks about the color of Christ and the color of his father. And it says in Genesis, the 49th chapter, that a troop shall overcome Gad, but he shall overcome in the end. Do you know what troop overcame us when we were here? Christopher Columbus, right? So hence the term, this city is called Columbus. This was the last place that he conquered my tribe. According to the Bible, you would be my fraternal twin sister. You are who what you would call Edomites. Did you know that? Okay, that's in the book of Genesis, the 29th chapter. The Bible talks about slave ships, and it talks about the color of the Ancient of Days, and it talks about the color of his son. And so, my name is Shabar Yasharala. That means broken spirit in Hebrew. And I could see things since I was 13 years old, and I left running to the military. The Bible says in the book of Chronicles that Gad is a seer, so I can see things, you know. And I went to the military like Jonah in the whale, but he came back in 1998, and he came back in 2006, and he came back in 2008. Took me to hell and back in 2006. And April 17th, 2008 at 2 o'clock at night, I came home. It's 2 o'clock at night, okay? And he said, enough is enough. So he kept repeating it, and I didn't want to hear it. Only 20-something years old, I put the pillow over my head. Right. He kept saying, enough is enough. So in about 15 minutes into my sleep, I was awakened, and they were surrounding me, and they began to speak. And I was transformed from the crown of my head to the sole of my feet. I was made new. And I was descending down into a building. That building had a brown table with white flowers on it. I walked past it. The heavens rolled back as a scroll. The sky literally peeled back. And he was so bright at this time, like Paul, I could not see him in this particular vision, but I have seen him. And he began to speak. He said, enough is enough. That's when I looked up and I saw something moving at the speed of light. One day to the Most High, it's like 1,000 years, and 1,000 years. And one day, so it's in real time, we're in real time. And he said, enough is enough. Chicago would be the first. Oh, and I saw a missile and it obliterated Chicago. You know what's happening in Chicago right now as we speak?
What's that?
They call it Chirac because it's worse than Iraq. And the president of this country sent the federal agents up there and the National Guard. And he showed me this over 10 years ago. He said Chicago would be the first of all. He came back years later and said Jamestown, Virginia will be the last standing. You know what happened at Jamestown, Virginia?
What's that?
First colonies. That came, they docked in Jamestown, Virginia. So Isaiah 43 and 6, I'm almost done, states that because you have held the children of Israel and refused to let them go. With the children of the Bible, you are my fraternal twin sister. You are a Hebrew, but you wasn't the chosen one that he chose. That's why we're at war, you understand? And so we got to come back to the Bible before it's too late. He said this place will be up in smoke by 2019. This Hurricane Irma, I seen this hurricane over 6 years ago. It's happening right now. You use YouTube?
YouTube? Sometimes.
You look up Chicago Prophecy and you find me there.
Okay.
For the 8th time, my life was almost taken from me because of what I do. Okay. So, as I was continuing on while we were doing this, so you know, in Jeremiah the 10th chapter, it tells you that they were putting up a Christmas tree before Christ was born. And in Acts 13 and 1, it said the prophets and the teachers was called Niger, Niger. That's in the Bible. You know what that means, right? So it's imperative that we come back to the book before it's too late, because a remnant of you, my fraternal twin sister, is going to make it out of here in the book of Amos. I know I'm speaking kind of fast, but I'm just trying to get it. It's a lot to swallow at one time.
Right.
But the time is at hand. They had a bomb scare about a week ago in Chicago, too. So the time is really here. It's really here. So blessed are the readers and the hearers of his word. And I'm Shabaria Sharala, Chicago leader, first of all, Jamestown, Virginia, the last standing. Look me up. Just look up Chicago Prophecy, and I'm there. I've gained the people that I deal with over 50-something thousand followers, but it's not about the followers, okay? Because Christ only had 12 disciples, and 2 of them set him up, right? Bless you.